All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're deconstructing this really cool creative concept that mashes up two things you'd probably never expect to see together: the blocky, retro world of old-school video games and the super slick look of modern movies. It's such a fun blend, and we're going to break down exactly what makes it tick.
And it all kicks off with this simple, kind of perfect caption: when your hamster levels up into the NES World. It's the kind of thing you'd see online and just instantly get. It totally captures that playful, fun, and kind of weird vibe of the whole idea we're about to get into. It's the perfect hook.
Okay, first up, a hamster's NES adventure. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of how this was all brought to life, let's just take a look at the core idea in all its simple, charming glory. So get this one sentence is basically the entire DNA of the project. A hamster, a classic 8-bit game world, but, and this is the key part, it's all blended with modern cinematic visuals. So it's not just a throwback, it's a total reimagining. Everything starts from that really cool contrast.
And this breaks it down really well. You've got all the classic gameplay stuff, right? A hamster is running, jumping over gaps, collecting coins. But look at that third point, the split between 8-bit and modern 3D. That's the secret sauce, And it's all wrapped up with those nostalgic sounds to create this awesome crossover between past and present.
So now let's talk about the visuals, because this is where things get really interesting. Pixel art, cinematic style. The real genius here is how it takes two completely different art styles and just forces them to exist together in the same space.
And there's actually a term for that. It's called visual juxtaposition. This isn't some happy accident. It is a super deliberate creative choice. That tension between the chunky retro pixel art and the smooth modern cinematic feel is exactly what makes the whole thing so unique and, well, so compelling. I love this slide because it just lays it all out side by side. On the left, you've got the soul of the project, that charming 8-bit world, the blocky hills, the pixel coins. But then you look to the right, and that's all the modern polish that makes it pop. Slick 3D rendering, smooth lighting, and those awesome camera pans.
All right, so we get what this is. But how in the world was it actually made? Let's peel back the curtain a little and look at the specific instructions, the actual creator's blueprint that was used to build this amazing little world.
And that's the big question, isn't it? You see something this cool, this polished, and you just have to wonder, okay, how'd they do that? What's the recipe? Well, it all comes down to a really specific and detailed set of instructions. And here it is. You gotta love the wording here. It starts with charming NES style, setting the foundation, but then, bam, recreated in cinematic 3D. It asks for that nostalgic feel, but, and this is important, with smooth, modern lighting and camera pans. And those final commands are key: 8-second loop, 16K ultra high resolution, ultra movie camera style. This tells you it's not just a tribute, it's meant to be a high-end production. But hey, an immersive world isn't just about what you see, right? It's about what you hear. To really sell that feeling of being inside an old game, the blueprint had to include the sound design. It's absolutely crucial.
And these are the non-negotiables. That chiptune music is an instant time machine. But it's those little details, those specific sound effects, the boing of a jump, that super satisfying ding of collecting a coin, that really complete the atmosphere. Every single sound is there to sell the 8-bit illusion.
So for this last part, let's get into the why. Why is this combination so effective? Why does mixing a hamster with an old video game and high-tech visuals, why does that resonate so much with us?
This chart really nails it. Look, nostalgia is obviously a huge piece of the puzzle. It hits you right in the childhood. But it's not just that. It's backed up by novelty. I mean, you've never seen anything quite like this before. And just pure playfulness. It's a really powerful mix of feelings. And what's wild is that this combination of feelings has a surprisingly wide appeal. The real strength of this idea is that it acts as a bridge, connecting a bunch of different and sometimes totally separate fan communities all at once. I mean, just look at the audience here. You've got your hardcore retro gamers, your pixel art fans, and yep, there's a whole hamster gaming community out there. This concept lands smack in the middle of a Venn diagram connecting all these different passions.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you've seen the blueprint for how to deconstruct and reimagine a classic, what world would you pick? What iconic game or memory do you think could be given this kind of fresh, modern, cinematic spin? The possibilities are pretty much endless.